Okay, so welcome back to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas. Everybody, Zach Ewing with Jim Derry and Devin Jackson back in New Orleans. The Caesars Palace Sportsbook behind us, where the Pelican season has just ended, or they've been showing the Pelican season just ending, a 115-109 loss to the Phoenix Suns. So that part of the New Orleans sports night is over. Now we wait on the Saints to make their pick at number 19. And just off the board at number 17, a guard, the first offensive guard of the game, Zion Johnson out of Boston College, goes to the Chargers. So still tackles available for the Saints.
Many, and I think we've been talking about Trevor Penning, maybe their most likely interest, and I think there's a good chance that that's where they'll go. We'll see. But I would be very surprised if it's not a tackle at number 19. We are in the Caesars, just outside of the Caesars Sportsbook, where it was certainly a very pro-Suns crowd here, by the way, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I think the Saints go tackle here, and Devin, I know you and I have talked about it. I would assume you agree with it.
Yeah, I think tackle is the play here. Trevor Penning falls right into their lap potentially. Titans are picking here at 18 because they just made a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles to acquire A.J. Brown. So that blockbuster trade happened, and then Marquise Brown got sent to the Arizona Cardinals as well. So two receivers going, getting traded across the league. But I think the Saints are in a good position. They went up and got the receiver they wanted, and now a tackle will most likely be available there since the Titans did select the tackle last year in the draft. So I think it's a perfect opportunity for them.
Now, one concern could be in this A.J. Brown trade, the Titans did get pick number 18, which is the one coming up right now, and they could be in the market for a tackle themselves. So could they take Trevor Penning or Tyler Smith? Either way, the other one would be available for the Saints.
Yeah, and like we said, that's exactly what they want. I mean, that's what we think they want. So, things happen to fall the way they want them to fall. Maybe they don't make that trade earlier, Devin. If they don't see the tackles falling the way that they want them to fall, they may not make that trade. So I mean, it ends up working out so far, kind of almost exactly the way the Saints have wanted it to work out.
Yeah, we thought. Well, I got a little worried because 3 of the top tackles came off in the first 9 picks, and I thought maybe a team may reach on some of these other tackles, but. The Titans pick just came in and looks like they are not going tackle. So the Saints are about to be on the clock with the tackle they potentially want on the board and can go ahead and select Trevor Penning potentially.
The Titans take Treylon Burks, the receiver out of Arkansas, whom I really like.
Sorry, Zach.
Yeah. And that's the A.J. Brown replacement. So, we'll see what happens. But now at 19, like you said, Devin, the Saints get their choice of tackles. And I have to assume that it's either a tackle or a trade down. I don't see any other pick unless you believe the quarterback thing. I mean, could Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis be the choice here?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Steelers are happy campers right now because
really.
Nobody is taking quarterbacks, and I think that shows you they don't like this quarterback class. And if the Saints didn't trade up for one by now, they're not going to take one here at 19. I don't think it makes sense.
No, and I agree with you, Devin. I mean, again, this is something we've talked about multiple times, not just today, but over the past couple of weeks. It doesn't make a sense to take a quarterback. You have Jameis Winston signed for 2 years. You have a very solid backup in Andy Dalton. There is zero reason to take a quarterback. Not only do I not think they take a quarterback here, I don't think they take a quarterback, period, in this draft. You have other needs, pressing needs to go along with it. You certainly could use another lineman, Devin. You can use a running back now. We don't know Alvin Kamara's situation, how long he's going to be out. You need help in the secondary. You surely could use another safety. So I think that's where the Saints are going to look over here over the next, at least today and tomorrow, and, well, one less pick now tomorrow, but we'll be talking about that. But again, you got to go tackle here. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, I think it just from a team building perspective. I mean, they need to fill left tackle, and I'm trying to see if the pick is in yet. It doesn't look like it is.
But turning my head to the camera, I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
AJ Brown, by the way, guys, getting a 4-year extension from the Eagles as well. So they clearly had a plan there. The Eagles get AJ Brown. The Titans get Treylon Burks. Interesting. I think that makes the NFC better, among other things.
I agree, Michelle. Penning. That is the next pick. Or it's at least the pick that I think they should make. Is that the commissioner talk? I'm sorry, I thought I heard the commissioner talking. It's loud in here, boys.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. And now that we kill some more time before Saints make the pick. Any surprises from the first round thus far that you guys have seen?
I mean, honestly,
go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, Jim and I were talking like the first 10 or 12 picks went almost according to script, which is a surprise in and of itself, because the NFL draft always goes off script.
That's right.
But it started to get crazy here in the last 6 or 8 picks. 6 wide receivers now in the first 18 picks, and so that shows you why the Saints had to trade up to get the guy they wanted. Six wide receivers out of 18 picks, and that's after the first 5 were defensive players. And so if you need a tackle, that really sets up well for you.
Yeah, Jim was talking about on At the Book that 9 receivers might go in the first round. Seems like we're well on the way there. Already 6 through the first 18 picks.
I also said there would be 5 trades made, and what are we at, 3 right now or 4? I'm not sure. I lost track.
Yeah, we had the Saints trade up, the Eagles traded up, the Lions traded up, and then the Titans traded up. So yep,
so that's 4. So I only need 1 more to get me right there. But look, I'll tell you what. Another thing that Zach and I were talking about, and I'm going to do it next year. When the odds start changing on a player to be the number 1 or whatever order they're in, and they start moving, I mean, because Las Vegas was spot on. And what happens there, obviously, is someone's getting inside information. Someone with big money is getting inside information. So I'm no longer going to doubt it. I mean, when they start saying picks are going to be made, I'm just going to buy it, even if it drops to where it's minus 200, and I got to pay 2 to 1, because a lot of those picks that were 1 to 2. A lot of those 1 to 2 picks today moved to 1 to 4, and they were right, including Derek Stingley, which went from even money to about, I don't know, I think it was minus 250 or minus 300 by the time he was taken with the 3rd pick, which was a super surprise.
Yeah, Derek Stingley is the one I was going to say, is like his odds to go number 3 plummeted today. And so that, I mean, look, and it is, we just got the pick. It is Trevor Penning for the Saints. So
okay.
I really think, yes, they had to give up the 3rd and the 4th to get Olave, but they got the 2 guys they wanted. They got Olave.
Absolutely.
And they're getting Trevor Penning. And so the Saints are better today than they were yesterday.
It makes no difference what order it's in. You won't even remember the order later on. But you're exactly right, Zach. You have to consider, I mean, if I'm great, and I'm pretty harsh on the Saints for the most part. And I can tell you right now, if I'm giving them a grade, it's an A. I mean, those are the 2 guys that I think we knew, close to the people close to the Saints knew that Olave was a target, Penning was a target, and they get both of them. Absolutely fantastic move.
So yeah, I love it. I think the Saints got exactly who they needed to go out and get. And it's very rare that a lot of people realize who the Saints probably should get, and it actually pans out. It seemed like this year the Saints, listened to who they were, or who they were supposed to take, or who we think they should have taken. So very interesting to see the Saints go with who we actually thought they would go with, and not a surprise pick this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Saints were hoping Trevor Penning was going to be there at 16. They got him at 19. Yeah. So in that, it worked really well for him.
One thing that is a little different than, a little different than my craft is, Zach, we saw Penning rising up board. So all that talk earlier about the Saints potentially moving up, I think was that's why I thought if they moved up, they were to go get a Penning, because of all the talk of him moving up. But they must have known something that we didn't know, and that he wasn't going to go before 19, and that he did make it that far. So they assured themselves of getting Olave, because Olave was also moving up the board these past couple of days. So again, Devin, you talk about getting the players you want. You're just satisfied with who you got. And I know that some Saints fans, and I'm going to be a little a little sarcastic here, but I know some Saints fans who are not Jameis Winston fans are not happy. I've actually had some texts. We're going to trade for a quarterback. Are we going to move up and get a quarterback? No, we're not getting a quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. So two excellent picks. Exactly the two needs we talked about they needed to fill for the past couple months. They filled them.
Yeah, I feel like taking a quarterback with a first-round pick would have been a waste by the Saints. You have a quarterback. You have a backup quarterback. You need a receiver. You need an offensive tackle, and they need a safety too. And we'll see if that means they're going to target Tyrann Mathieu in free agency now, or if pick number 49 tomorrow is a safety. But that's really the one hole they have left. So we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, that's true, running back. But you can always get a running back. Maybe Breece Hall is there at 49. Listen, it is a little bit surprising in and of itself that the Saints didn't do anything surprising. They always do something surprising in the draft.
Yeah, I think they this year, I think they went into the mindset we just need to get good football players in the building at positions of need and just go for it. And they zeroed in on their two players that they wanted and they felt like would be there in Penning, especially. I mean, kind of surprised, after all this talk that he may go top 10, he may go top 15, that he still ended up falling into the Saints' lap at 19. So that just shows you sometimes things work out the way that you would hope it would. And the Saints got a deal done to get Olave, but let Trevor Penning essentially fall to them. So, we talked about maybe would the Saints do best pick available or how they would approach it. And it seems like they knew who they wanted to get, and then they went ahead and made that happen.
All right, let's talk about. Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say also, Zach, a real quick shout out to our reporters, Jeff Duncan, Luke Johnson, Amy Just, everyone that I've talked to. They were pretty much all over these two guys. I don't know if they necessarily knew it was going to be these two guys, but Olave was number one. And Penning was number two when you talked about, it was number one also when you talk about the two players at the two positions they needed. They've been all over it for the last month and a half, so hats off to those guys.
And, very well said. Yeah, very well said. So let's turn our attention, guys, as we wrap up tonight a little bit, to tomorrow. The Saints at this point only have one pick left tomorrow. It's at number 49. It'll be fairly early in the day. The draft starts at 6 o'clock Central tomorrow. Probably within the first couple of hours, the Saints will make that pick or trade it, whatever they're going to do. What's left for them? Is it a running back? Is it a safety? Is it best player available? Jim, where do you see the Saints going at 49?
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go with the running back. I think it's something that it is a need, and so we'll see who's left available when they pick again. But I think it's either going to be running back or safety, or again, if the right offensive lineman is there, it would not surprise me at all if they go offensive lineman, because I think their depth is critically low right now at that position. You can never have enough good ones anyway. And there aren't a ton of needs with this team. So I would put them in order of, I know that most people wouldn't do this, but I would put them in order of running back, safety, offensive lineman. I think that's what we'll see next coming up for things.
Oh, wow. Just had a surprise here. Steelers do not go with Malik Willis. They go with Kenny Pickett at number 20 overall.
Wow.
So Malik Willis continues to fall.
Well, they passed on Dan Marino in 1983. So they didn't pass on this Pittsburgh quarterback. So that's actually probably a good move of them. I personally think that I don't really love any of these quarterbacks, but I thought Kenny Pickett was probably the best of the bunch. I am not a Malik Willis fan at all. Nothing against him personally, and he'll probably prove me wrong and be a Hall of Famer. But I was not a Malik Willis fan, but I'm not a Kenny Pickett fan either. Who knows? But there's no doubt the Steelers need a quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Saints fans are happy they didn't end up with Pickett, because that would have been a whole situation in itself.
I can tell you why I'm happy that it ended up with Pickett. Because I had a bet. I took his over 19.5, so I am ecstatic that the Saints didn't want Kenny Pickett.
There you
Do you ever not have a bet on something?
Very
You
rarely,
always-
Zach. Very rarely.
Yeah,
if I'm
you
going to
always have
watch
a
that,
bet
I'll
on
probably have a bet on it.
So the Saints, because of the trades they've made with the Eagles to move back into the first round, and then also today with the Commanders, they have that pick at 49. They then do not pick again until 161 on Saturday. And so the Saints, they got the two players they wanted in the first round. They have one pick pretty early tomorrow, and then that's going to be it for them, unless they decide to trade back tomorrow, pick up a couple of third rounders or something. How does that make you guys feel? As far as adding depth, there really won't be a ton of players.
Well, I think the Saints have shown they trust the players on their roster. Like they like to develop within and develop those undrafted free agents. So I'm not super surprised that they went this strategy. I think a couple of years ago when they took Zach Bond and Adam Troutman and a few other players, it was kind of a similar situation where they had a big gap in between like their day 2 picks and like day 3 picks. So I think for them, they like to go and get the players that they want, that they can mold into their system, and then the abundance of picks for them doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and we talked about that because, listen, they're the bottom of their roster is as good as any bottom of the roster in the league. You're not going to improve it a lot with 4th and 5th round picks. So maybe they don't need them. But whatever the case is, after 49 tomorrow, more than 100 picks will go by before the Saints pick again. So 49 is what it is. We'll talk about that in a special edition of At the Book at 4 o'clock Central tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see you then. You guys have any more thoughts on tonight?
My thoughts are I'm hoping that I can drink some coffee or something and not be sheerly exhausted, because if not, I'm going to go home without playing any games here in Vegas, because I'm not going to have any time tomorrow afternoon and evening. Time's running out. I got to find some way to lose some money.
I took care of that last night, so we're good to go. Devin, how about you? Final thoughts for the night?
Well, I'm happy for both of you guys because you get a little bit of a break tomorrow. You get just the one pick for the Saints, and you can kind of relax now that those first 2 picks are out of the way. So kind of glad for you guys, and I'm kind of glad we're done with the first round now. We don't have to talk about speculation anymore. The Saints are moving forward with, and now it's just about a few more players to add to the roster and move forward.
All right, well, that's what we have, and we'll continue on with some draft coverage. Again, join us at 4 o'clock tomorrow on these same social media channels or on bet.NOLA.com for 2nd and 3rd round coverage. And hit us up anytime at bet.NOLA.com. Also, check out NOLA.com/Caesars to sign up for the Caesars Sportsbook app and get in on all the
Gratitude.
And Datitude tomorrow as well. That's right. Jim Derry and Devin Jackson. I'm Zach Ewing. This has been bet.NOLA.com live from the NFL Draft.